Where's Bobby? Huh? Isn't Bobby?
Bobby, Bobby,
No. No idea. You can't be.
Bobby,
Where's Bobby? Bobby. Rufito, have you seen your brother? Bobby.
Bobby,
Bobby.
Bobby,
Bobby. In ecological farming, we regularly replenish our soil with organic materials: compost, vermicompost, animal manure, green manure, and the like, because in ecological farming, fertilizing means feeding our soil and its soil life, so that they in turn can feed our plants. We can distinguish two major kinds of organic materials. A first major kind of organic materials are soil texturizers. These are organic materials rich in carbon, but rather lacking in nutrients for our plants. They improve the texture of our soil, and they increase the soil's ability to retain moisture for the benefit of our plants. Some examples are grass cuttings, rice hay, corn waste, and the like. A second kind of organic materials are nutrient suppliers. These are organic materials rich in nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. They are materials that specifically serve as food for our plants once they have been mineralized by our soil life. Some examples are cacahuate leaves. These are rich in nitrogen and potassium, and banana trash, which is rich in potassium and phosphorus. The ecological principle of fertilization is a cycle of building up and breaking down. The cycle starts with the photosynthesis in the green parts of our plants, and ends, or better, restarts and continues with the recycling of its waste products, which we call organic materials, into elements that can again be absorbed by our new plants, which we call organic fertilizers. The only thing added from outside this cycle is the energy of the sun. What can be used to fertilize, and what is off limits in ecological farming? Fertilizing in ecological gardening means feeding our soil and soil life with nutrients needed by our plants in an environment-friendly and ecologically responsible manner. We must therefore be very selective about the kind of fertilizers we use, because not all fertilizers in the market are acceptable under these ecological standards. We can distinguish three types of fertilizers. The first type are organic fertilizers. They are composed of anything biodegradable that is found in nature, substances that decay relatively quick as a result of the action of bacteria and break down into elements such as carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and the like. They are generally made up of animal residues, plant residues, or a combination of both. By using these kind of materials, we achieve the intended purpose of fertilization as it happens in nature. Leaves, bird droppings, manure of other forest dwellers all fall down to the ground and decay, releasing nutrients that are again used by plants in the natural cycle of life. A second type of fertilizers are lime fertilizers. These fertilizers are used to regulate the pH level in our soil. They are soil texturizers because they help improve the structure of our soil. But they are also nutrient suppliers because they are rich in magnesium and in calcium. Only be aware that using lime fertilizers in excess will turn our soil alkaline. And the third type of fertilizers are mineral fertilizers. The word minerals is a term that refers to two very similar concepts, but with a slightly different distinction, which actually makes all the difference. Minerals are, on one side, solid, inorganic natural substances that occur as a result of inorganic processes of nature, such as, for instance, stone, coal, salt, sulfur, sand, petroleum, water, and the like. Minerals, on the other hand, are substances synthetically obtained in a laboratory, but with the properties of a naturally occurring mineral. It is the difference between natural and synthetic that makes the first acceptable to ecological farming, but the second totally unacceptable. Natural mineral fertilizers are fertilizers that are obtained from the ground. They may have been processed mechanically through crushing or pulverizing, but they have not been treated with acids or other substances to increase their solubility. Examples rich, for instance, in phosphorus or phosphate rock that has been finely pulverized, or basic slag. Examples rich in potassium or wood ashes, and examples rich in magnesium or, for instance, certain rock meals. In ecological gardening, natural mineral fertilizers are only used for special purposes, usually as supplement when deficiency occurs. Synthetic mineral fertilizers are fertilizers derived from natural products but through synthetic processes. They are combinations of a natural earth product and a strong acid. They require large amounts of petroleum. They contain a high percentage of only one or a few nutrients in a mineralized form, making them very soluble and immediately absorbable by our plants. Example, superphosphate, which is a phosphate rock treated with sulfuric acid. One bag of 50 kilograms contains 25 kilograms phosphate rock and 25 kilograms sulfuric acid. As we already know the devastating effects of these fertilizers on soil, soil life, and plants, it is clear that they are unacceptable in ecological farming.